Mini-series, Own Your Selection Process. Episode 1, Stages of Selection. In this episode, we will be focusing on the different stages of selection. This includes application screening, interview and assessment stages, and the job offer and negotiation stages. One thing to bear in mind is that every company's selection process differs. However, these are the most common stages of selection that you will experience. Application screening. When an employer receives applications for a job, they need to carefully identify the candidates who meet their requirements. Every job advert stipulates minimum requirements and certain skills needed for the job. Recruiters screen your application forms, cover letters, and CVs to identify where you meet the requirements and where you may have certain gaps. The applications that are screened positively are shortlisted for the first round of interviews. The applications that don't meet the requirements are sent a job application decline. First round interviews are scheduled with the shortlisted candidates. These interviews are very often telephonic interviews. However, they could also be in person or take the form of a virtual video call interview. During this interview, the recruiter digs deeper into what they have seen in your CV. They verify your qualifications and experience, ask logistical questions, for example, where you are located and if you are willing to relocate if needed, as well as assess your overall motivation for the role, company, and industry. The candidates who give the recruiter confidence in their claims, meet the requirements of the role, and show company and role fit are shortlisted to the next stage of recruitment. Second round interviews are usually in person or virtual using video conferencing. The hiring manager and an HR representative is usually present. During this interview, the interviewers test your capability by asking competency-based technical and behavioral questions. Behavioral interview questions are based on the idea that past behavior can predict future action, whereas competency-based questions are based on the skills required to perform the job. They will assess your understanding of the job and how you motivate your fit. They will ask questions that will give them further insight into your motivation for wanting the job, your knowledge of the company, and the industry. Through the various questions asked, they are very importantly also assessing your potential for future leadership in the company. The successful candidates from this round are then shortlisted to the next round of recruitment. The next round of recruitment very often includes psychometric testing or an assessment center. The type of psychometric tests you could be asked to complete are aptitude or cognitive, personality or behavioral, or situation judgment tests. In some cases, you are invited to attend a full-day or half-day assessment center, which will include completing psychometric assessments, a case study and presentation, and usually a final panel interview. These assessment centers are designed to challenge you under pressure and to assess how you cope and strategize in managing your time and nerves. It is therefore really important to be well rested and prepared, and to try and remain in a calm state of mind. This is usually the final stage where successful candidates are shortlisted for the job. Which brings us to the job offer stage. If you are successful, you are usually contacted over the phone and in writing via email. The recruiter or hiring manager will contact you telephonically with the good news and let you know that a written offer is on its way. When you receive the written offer, you will be provided with details such as your official job title, start date, and salary or cost of employment. Negotiation and acceptance of offer. Before accepting the offer, you may need to discuss certain terms of the job such as the salary, start date, and whether you need to relocate or not. This is referred to as the negotiation stage of selection. If you are accepting the offer, you should always do so in writing. The company may require you to sign a letter and scan it back to them, or to confirm your acceptance over email. Thank you for tuning into episode 1 of mini-series Own Your Selection Process, brought to you by the UCT Careers Service. Be sure to tune into episode 2, where we will be focusing on the job advert and application process.